So someone actually wrote me an email and wanted was requesting for to be discussed um, the end of seeking, which is a story. So it goes something like this. What's being suggested is that this is the end of spirituality. This is the curtain call of non-duality teachings, um, or the stepping off of the pathless path. This is not superior or inferior because it's nothing at all. It doesn't really go anywhere. It does not really address anyone. Although it's talking, it's not talking to anyone. There's just this directness and intimacy in what's being expressed that there's nothing needed because everything is already complete. There's no need to inquire or to lose the self or to drop the me because it's the end of all of that, because that's a circular pattern of seeking and not finding, seeking and not finding. And it's always that way in teaching or grasping it and losing it. So what's being expressed is ungraspable. It's just this undeniable absence of the one that's trying to grasp, the one that's trying to learn, the one that's trying to know, the one that's trying. The one that's trying. Yes. So this is not an authority. This is actually zero and not even zero. This is a departure from the know-it-all to know nothing at all. This is the end of the wisdom hoarder, the quote taker. I used to take quotes from different masters. This is the end of seeing that there are masters to this. There's no masters to non-duality, because if there's no one, there's no others. And it's just really simple. It's the simplicity of this that keeps on getting missed. That there's nothing to jot down. There's nothing to figure out. And seemingly this keeps on getting bunched in with spirituality. This keeps on getting bunched in with learning. And this keeps on getting called spiritual bypassing or any criticism. But this is none of those, because this is just the naturalness of whatever is happening. This is not a way of life. This is not a way of living. This is not a thing at all. It's no thing. And there's no hierarchy. There's no levels. There's no one that gets it, and there's no one that got it. There's no one that doesn't get it, and there's no one that got it. There's never been anyone that understood this. There's never been anyone that figured it out. There's never been anyone that is an expert at this. And there are really no non-duality speakers. This has never been spoken. This is not speaking right now. This is not even happening. So spirituality is a concept, and even non-duality is another concept. It's just another idea. But what's being expressed here, the radicalness, the uncompromising communication that does not adhere to anything. It does not mean anything. It's purposeless. It doesn't have any prescriptions. And it's not better. It's not worse. This is often rejected. This is an often rejection. So going back to the request, at the end of seeking, there was a purging of sorts. This is almost like a repeat, but there was everything that arises didn't matter anymore. So I looked at my gratitude journal and I'm like, oh. I looked at my vision board. Oh. I look at my angel cards. Oh. So there's a lot of hauling of, and there's nothing wrong or right about that. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. But this is the end of that. This is the end of spirituality. There's nothing wrong or right about tarot cards or angel readings, Reiki, all of that energy stuff. But it's almost like there was a dream before that there was a belief in all of this stuff. There was a belief that it got me better. There's a belief in healing. And there's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just what's happening. But what is being spoken about does not have anything to do with that. But there's also nothing wrong with all of that. So this is the immediacy, the practiceless. It's not even inquiry, because who's inquiring? It's not even awareness, because what's aware? It's not even about consciousness. There's no prior, there's no after. It's just this. And the simplicity of this is so obvious that it's staring at it in the eye. It's so direct that it's expressing this bold blue colors and whatever is appearing, the leaves, the colors and everything. It does not need to be learned. People can so there's some people apparently that keeps on sending me books and saying, can you please read this and comment on it? So I tried skimming through some of the books. It's just so complicated. There's no more interest in that. There's no more learning. So you can say that this is the closing of the book, the closing of the chapter of something that never existed. Because there was no one that seeked before. It's just a story. So this doesn't even matter. The person that wrote me wanted me to elaborate on the seeking. And it doesn't really matter. It's really irrelevant. Because this is the end of all of that. They're seemingly kind of like wanting to find what this character did that got out of that. What this character did that worked. What this character did, what techniques, who did I listen to? It's irrelevant. I listened to no one. Because no one was speaking about this. There were some characters, names like Tony Parsons, which is beautiful communication, but there's no Tony Parsons at the same time. So getting stuck in that, who did this, who did that, where did this communicate? It's not coming from anywhere. So what's being revealed here, or what's being suggested, is that this is timelessness always. Eternity doesn't have a time. It defies logic. It defies understanding. It cannot really be comprehended that this is happening and it's also not happening, that this is not a teaching, although there's some apparent individuals that are trying to grasp this. That's why that there's apparent people, although this is not going to be popular like some of the teachings, because this is something that leaves you empty, hopefully. But it doesn't do anything, because empty is empty. So this does not offer anything. Here's some air. Here's some air. Here's a cloud of nothing. Here's a mist of emptiness. It cannot be put in a jar. It cannot be bottled. It cannot be known. And this is kind of like an advanced, answer to all the discussion. And it's usually like this. I know that there's no one there, but how did you get there? No one got here. That's what's being expressed. That this is free for all. This is already. So even if there's a feeling of contractedness, a feeling of I don't get this at all, that's also it. It's not trying to change anyone's experience, because no one has any experience. It's not trying to change the state. It's not trying to hypnotize, because there's no one to hypnotize. It's not trying to do anything at all. So this is just a rambling saying that nothing, 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 nothing is everything. And it's just clear already, even when it's not clear and it doesn't make sense. because what seems to be appearing is already clearly just what's happening, and it's really nothing. So there's this stuckness on this idea of what enlightenment or awakening. It's a myth. It's a fantasy. It's not worth talking about even. When there was this seeking, there was this energy of trying to become a master. And it did kind of in the dream, kind of like not really a master, but, a phony, enlightened, teacher. And it kept on trying to maintain that. So what I can say from this apparent story of this apparent character, enlightenment was pure suffering. Because it was maintaining it, trying to be this ideal of what an enlightened being is. And when there's a lot of people looking up to you of what it should be, then you're trying to come up with BS. When one day is off, you're thinking that maybe I should have meditated for 5 hours. Although there was already meditation that happened for 3 hours. Like, I missed 1 hour. I'm off today. I'm not as enlightened as I was yesterday. Or when I had some gossipy thoughts about someone, some judgment, I would feel so bad that I would just be like, okay, I'm not going to eat today. Because my thoughts are harmful. I'm going to correct all of my doing into something that does not cause any harm. And it was just this, I got it, I lost it. I got it, I lost it. But I always had to put on a facade that I got it. And it's just something that is just this spiral. And it's always, and once you arrive at something, there's this maintenance. It's so high maintenance that apparent living, is missed. Like I didn't even talk to my brothers as much, which I was really, really close to, because they were lower than me. They didn't understand me anymore. I didn't talk to friends that did not talk about spirituality anymore. Or when I'm at a family dinner table, I'm salivating over my favorite dishes, some meat dishes, and I'm kind of like just cutting cucumbers because that's all I could eat, or tomatoes. And there was judgment happening all the time. And there was just this, almost a self-flagellation. So what's being spoken about here is that break from that. It's that seeing that didn't really happen. That was not necessary. All of those spiritual affirmations, all of those mantras, all of those apparent happening, although there's nothing wrong or right about that. If it makes you feel better, it's like a Band-Aid. Cool. But what's being expressed here is that end of spirituality, and it's not bypassing, because there is no one that's trying to avoid things. There's this character that's full on, that's liberated, that feels like wearing this bright blue shirt, awesome hat, talking, maybe drinking Blanche de Chambly later. It's free. And what's free here is also free there. But you just have a different interpretation of what free is. What freedom is not this definition of what it should be for you. This is boundless freedom. So this freedom here is the freedom there. But there's no here and there. So it's freedom that's locationless. Freedom that is not contained. Freedom that appears in the apparent character, although there's no one there. So it's this boundless freedom is the full expression of this character without limitation. It's no longer in a straight jacket of, should I be more spiritual? Am I too spiritual? So the spiritual is almost like a straight jacket of trying to fit in, trying to, what is the latest, vegan music out there? Should I get some more gongs? Nothing's wrong or right about that. But this is the liberation of no one, because there was no one in the first place. It's free. Okay, if we have any questions, please go ahead. Um, oh, thank you. That's what I was saying earlier. This is like a guru, but there's no guru here. I'm like, there's some tea happening. There's no. All I need is a flowering kind of like consciousness right beside me, and a picture of a dead something. Um, there's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just what's happening. Um, oh, hi. How are you doing? Daggy? You have to unmute
Hello.
yourself now.
Hi, hi, hi.
Hi.
Oh, this just wanted to express that there is, utter delight listening
Oh,
to
thank you.
this here. And since this realized that there is nothing to realize, and that since it was realized that all searching is futile, it
Yes.
just this cannot stop laughing, it's like laughing. I don't know how many days now. It's just like
Oh,
there's
good.
just laughter.
Hooray. Isn't it funny when there's nothing?
you know, everything is funny. The funniest thing is that this thought that there is something to find, that this was vegan because it's
Yes.
more spiritual, is like things are falling away. I don't
Yes.
know, very, very fast. And
Oh,
there's,
good.
it's such a relief. It's like cosmic relief. It's
It
liberation.
is.
It's,
It is. It is. It's this the seriousness is
oh, yeah.
it's like nothing is serious. All that's
Uh-huh.
being said is what, everything that is being, this is nothing. It's nothing. It's
There's
the so
nothing.
whatness. So what? Ah.
Wow. It's like the suchness. This is the what is, and there is nothing else. There is just what is. And oh,
Oh,
so
beautiful.
beautiful. Yeah.
It is just stunning clarity, that this
Yeah.
directness, there's
Mm-hmm.
this, all the beliefs, all the ideas, all of the spirituality is
Oh,
is 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 draining down the drain, right? You're kind of like,
mm,
oh, and there's nothing that you can do about it because there's no you.
and there is utter delight just listening to this message from various, let's say, people
Yes, yes,
from various sources. It's like
yes.
just delight listening, talking.
Oh, thank you.
Now it's so beautiful. Everything is,
This,
oh,
thank you.
like your website, utter wow or something. It's like,
Unconditional
wow,
wow.
unconditional wow. It's like wow, wow.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Wow.
you. Oh, okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
keep on coming back, Daggy. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
In the story, when this character apparently was seen that there's no character, and in the story, it's quite a almost like a side effect that there's a lot of laughter, and also crying sometimes, right? There's a lot of laughter because it's seeing that the seriousness that was previously held in the seeking unravels, and there's nothing to seek, and it's almost like it's almost anticlimactic that it's always been this way, and there's nothing really to figure out. So all of that seriousness, all of a sudden, um, it's like a prank almost. Have you ever been pranked and you think that, it's serious, and then you're kind of like, I don't know. There's this show before with pranks, right? Um, there was one with Ashton Kushner, right? Ashton Kushner, and then there was this Justin Timberlake. I don't know if you remember that show, and there was a lot of kind of like people from the government supposedly kind of like coming, checking all of his books and everything, and he was so nervous. He was just so kind of like he was almost about to cry, and then Ashton Kushner come in and goes, "It's a prank. This is all a setup. Nothing. You don't need. There's no problem." So that's the laughter. It's just kind of like, ha. Or it comes into different stories. The stories of even if that contraction is not even real. There's nothing contracted. There's just this whatever seems to appear. So everything that was kind of like, I'm contracted, all of the story. Maybe I need to be more spiritual. Maybe I need to go some, and then it's always this constant seeking. It's the hopping around is what I notice. It's like, I'll get a certificate at this spiritual convention. I'll get another teaching, and all that kind of stuff is because it's trying to keep on improving and improving, and there's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just what's happening. It's always what's next. When it's seen that there's no next, hooray! How do I better myself? How do I keep on? And the premise of a lot of seeking is coming from a place of, I am not complete. I want to feel complete. This is complete. And what was seen as previous flaws or whatever is just seen as just what's happening. And it just becomes this cosmic joke that there's no one here. And sometimes, what I'm saying, sometimes it just becomes this, what's revealed is nothing. So you're looking for this big, for this angelic voices coming, oh, saying, as I said before, kind of like Buddha, kind of like coming out of the woodwork saying, Jesus giving you a certificate. There's no graduation. No one graduates from this. And, but thank you for sharing that, Daggy. That was really fun. It's just joyful. It's just joyful. And sometimes in the story, there's, I apparently this character talks to a lot of characters that it's tears. Like you, Ollie. I remember when you called me, she's like, I was watching your video with one-on-one, and you could not even put a couple of sentences together. It's like, but there was also a lot of laughter. There was laughter and crying and laughter and crying. It's like the previously held sanity just gets broken, and it's just everything is insane. Although sanity and insanity are just the same thing. Or thinking that you are in a prison, and then all of a sudden you seeing that there's no prison. There's nothing holding anyone back, because there's nothing. There's no one in prison. It's just this wowness. This unconditional wow. I was talking to Claire before, and it's like it's this big wow in the beginning. Wow, nothing has ever happened and nothing has changed really. It's still, everything is in its perfect place, and then there's this constant wow, wow, wow. It doesn't have to be this. It could be like, oh wow, this is really anticlimactic. Oh wow, I'm crying so hard. Wow, I lost everything.
Wow for no reason.
Wow for no reason. Well, it's always no reason. Oh, there's a question here, sorry. Marcy, The end of self-improvement because there's no self. Yes, exactly. When I think I was addicted to self-improvement because there was a lot of unworthiness here, and I kept on trying to go for what's next, and the ultimate self-improvement is become a teacher. And when I was a teacher, I was a spiritual teacher. It was a never ending of how can I become a better. Here, you know what I'm saying? In this kind of like communication, I was just chatting with the group here, and there's no preparation, so whatever comes out comes out. It's just the spontaneous sharing because there's nothing really that is missing or nothing to. There's no lecture here. Um, Hazelan, after the apparent dropping away, can boredom happen, or there's no one to getting bored? Um, Anything can happen, but there's really no boredom that happens here apparently, because it doesn't really have an experience of time anymore. There's seemingly a time. There's a timelessness, and then no one gets bored because there's no one here that yeah. Time is apparently, and this is just a story. Time is seen as nothing at all. There's the story of time of like, oh, we were studying in 10 minutes, but it's not. It doesn't really. There's no more. I used to watch, when I was meditating, when I was a meditation teacher. I used to have this timer, and I kept on looking at it. And I'm like, damn it, 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes, 9 minutes, good, 9 minutes. It's the character's stuck in time. So what seemingly happened when there's this apparent dropping away is no one is stuck in time anymore. It's just this timelessness that's appearing. There's this time that's appearing, but it's an illusion. It's not seen as something that is, how do you say it? It doesn't dictate anymore. Nothing dictates the character anymore. Thank you. Hi, Emerson. Can you talk about the suffering or the crying? Okay. I got it. After the apparent dropping away. Um, Seemingly, you know what? In when there's this shock that apparently happens, that there's nothing here. So there's a seeming grieving happening of something that's previously held on to. It could be all of the time spent seeking, and then it laughs because there's no time. So it cries for all of that's lost, and then nothing is really lost. Or it could be because of and this is just a story, a grieving of the character, that there's no character. The investment in that character sometimes is so high. The investment in that character's actions and everything they've done, or the legacy. When this character was encountering this communication, it was devastated and really relieved at the same time, because the devastation was that everything that this character invested in its spiritual progress, almost becoming like a saint, and was worthless. It didn't really mean anything. But at the same time, all of the wrongdoings, the cheekiness that the character didn't really matter as well. So it was just a fresh start. Everything is a fresh start all the time. Apparently, there's no start. Hazelan, hey.
Hello. I just want to ask that can we do one-on-one? Oh, I didn't hear you.
Just a second. There's something.
Okay, I hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me now. Okay.
Yeah. Now I can't hear again.
How about that?
Now it's good. It's fine.
It's good. Okay.
Okay. So can we do one-on-one?
Yeah, sure. Right now?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, for sure. Just email me, Zalan.
Okay, thank you. And
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other question that that how do you know there isn't other infinity like
Um,
like
no one knows anything here, right? There's just this
okay,
undeniable that there's no one here. So everything that this apparent character previously knew as if there were others is completely gone, right? There's no time, there's no others, there's no. So everything that this perception apparently had, the reality of this character, is the one that's completely destroyed. There's no reality, there's nothing happening because the one that believed all of that was never there in the first place.
okay,
So
okay,
that's
thank you.
that's and that's also what seems to be happening there, Salan. I think you messaged me before, but there's this narrative of what's happening,
Yeah,
and there's this narrative that there is a stuckness or something or whatever. But there was this seeing already that there's no one there. But what seems to apparently happen is that when there's no one there, there's this rushing back of this apparent, chatter that I am here. But that's also it.
okay.
Yeah. It's not this or that. It's not like whatever seems to be happening is already completely empty. So even the chatter that comes is also emptiness. Even the feeling of contractedness is also emptiness. Even the feeling that I lost it is also emptiness. And it's all without any separation. There's this idea of separation. There's this thinking that I don't have it because seemingly in the story when there's no initial seeing because it's always seen. In this story when there's this initial seeing, there's this relief, kind of like or disbelief or whatever it is. I'm not sure. I think you messaged me before that there was
Yeah,
this. What apparently happened? If you want to
I
share.
don't know, I don't know. I
Oh,
messaged you a couple of times, yes.
okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I didn't have anything to say right now.
No worries. No worries, Alan.
You're like a rock star to me,
What's that?
apparently. You're like a rock star to me.
Oh, there's no one special here.
Okay, okay, okay.
Thank you, Salan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. But I'm signing autographs later. If you, I'm just kidding. This character actually does not like fame. It actually, because it got to that micro fame thing when everybody kind of like recognized this character, and it's an introvert, but it's a practice extrovert and introvert. It likes being alone. It likes just, yeah. Hi, Victoria.
Hi, Emerson.
Hi.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I don't know because I'm not on my laptop. I'm in Albania. So
You're in Albania. What are you doing there?
I just get here, so that doesn't matter. I just want to say the rock stars are not special at all.
Yes. There are no rock stars, actually.
First of all, so very funny. You said nobody knows here anything except me. Actually,
Oh, you do?
no. I just wanted to say, this guy is here now with you, and he want in the future one-to-one. He thinks about what will happen in the future, but he is here.
Nice.
So it's very funny. Sorry for that. Okay. Thank you.
Nice seeing you, Victoria. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too. Love you. Okay.
It's like too high. We don't hear well.
Oh, it's too high now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It's alright.
Sorry. We're having some technical difficulties here. I'm going to put on my Rockstar glasses.
Matching your
It matches my hat. Thank you. Yeah. Kane asked, can you talk about when athletes feel pressure and nerves in big moments? Would that fall away? Um, what seems to fall away, and this is just another story, is the neurosis tendency, the trying to it's so the pressure that's felt could be lessened. The nervousness in big moments could be. There's when I used to speak, because there's this introvertedness here, I used to get nervous in speaking and everything. There's none of that anymore. It just speaks. And this is apparently a big moment. But there are no big moments anymore. It's just seeing that what seems to appear is just what's happening. But everything is also allowed to appear, right? So, for example, if the athlete's getting pressured by the coach, it might feel that, you know what I'm saying? But it does not, it's like Teflon now, right? The pressure is on, it comes off as well. It's not built up into something, into this multiple storylines or something. That could be it, but it's I've never had a an apparent athlete Rockstar, it's what's happening, but not an athlete pressure or something, not like Cristiano Ronaldo or something that has this pressure of being Cristiano Ronaldo. But when that identity falls away, when that personalization apparently is seen as something that's just really irrelevant. So what's seen here, that Emerson is completely irrelevant. There's nothing special about Emerson whatsoever. So it doesn't have any pressure to be someone else because it's nothing at all. There's no one here. And there's this freedom, which is unconditional with this character. It doesn't have this neurosis anymore of trying to be whatever it is not, because it was never anything in the first place. Simply, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that question, Kane. Is that Petra that I see? Hi, Petra. Everyone should come to Montreal. The food is so amazing. The food is so amazing. I think I gained like 30 pounds already. It's so good. So good. That's the reason I actually came here, is just to eat.
Vegetarian or not?
Doesn't matter. Everything is good here.
It does matter.
There's also vegetarian food here in Montreal.
Okay, I
Vegetarian,
go.
yeah.
Okay.
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
I forgot it. You like to eat. I don't like.
I like to eat. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
But maybe you like to drink. There's nothing wrong or right about that. It's okay.
No, I don't drink for 20 years, so shut up.
Oh, that's
please.
right. That's right.
Love you.
Love you.
Shut up. I don't drink at all. I hate alcohol. I drank a lot, so it's finished.
All right.
Okay.
Hi, Emerson. Can you share some of the practices that you did before? It's sure. It was not really necessary, right? There's no practices that will get to this, because this is already this. So there's no future in getting this. It's already. There's no time. So thinking that a practice usually requires time, right? So what's being expressed here is the timelessness, that this is already what's happening. But in the story, what this character did was everything. It did TM, got frustrated with that. It did silent, it did the silent retreats, the what do you call that again? The 10-day silent one. Vipassana, yeah, Vipassana as well. Vipassana. It did mantras. It did a whole bunch of stuff that's really, really relevant to what's being expressed here. Um, and it went into some really, really crazy stuff too, like trying to build a field, uh, trying to make a grid of Christ consciousness, trying to do a Merkaba ship, a crystallized thing. Um, was beginning to think about aliens, and there's nothing wrong or right about that, or all that kind of stuff. Um, Angel readings, all that kind of stuff, the whole shebang. It's like, as much as I eat, there's also this character that likes to go on a spiritual buffet. So it's a glutton for punishment. But it's the same as the character was a kid. It prayed the rosary. And then one time I had this mala bead, and then my mom like saw me. She goes, "Oh, are you praying the rosary?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, it's this is more special. It's a mala bead." It's the same thing. There's nothing wrong or right about that. But at least my mom is more dedicated. She still prays the rosary every day. Hi, Emerson. Can you talk about the directness that there's no one here again? There is no one here. There's never been anyone anywhere. There's no one here. There's no one there. There's no time. So if there's no time, there was no one that was ever born. There was no one that ever had a birthday. There's no one that's going to die. There's no one that is listening to this. There's no one talking. Again, we're talking about the directness, and this is a suggestion. So what's seen here, that there's never been anyone, because there's never been any time. Since there's never been any time, there's never been any history. Since there's no history, you're all doomed. Thank you. I'm just kidding. There's no one to be doomed. So everything is already dead. All these ideas of I am here and everything is just an idea that is appearing in this vast, seamless, boundless freedom that's appearing as everywhere. Even the idea that I am here is also what is happening. But there's no one there.
We don't hear the question again.
Oh no, I'm just reading it.
Oh,
Some people are just typing it, yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Kane goes, is all mental health just in the story? I'm not really an expert with mental health. In the story, there are people that can answer that a lot better, but everything is a story. Again, this is not, this communication is not addressing mental health because it doesn't know about mental health. If there is mental health appearance, you know what I'm saying? Seeking help professionally also happens, but everything is a story. Everything is a story. Even this is a story. Hi, Marcy.
Yeah, I was going to raise my hand. I didn't have to, right?
Hi.
Um,
Good to see you.
good to see you too.
Hi.
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 I keep on feeling. I got an echo here. Thing. That has to be some kind of an energetic shift. All right. I know this is just a belief, and this is just some kind of a thought there. That there has to be something that you lost that I want to lose. Okay.
Yeah,
Not something that you've gained.
Thank you for that.
But that you've lost something that I've longed for so long, and there's no past and future. That's a story, but I know there's something here that longs to lose that.
Yes. So what's lost is the belief that something is lost. And it's just really flimsy. It's just a really, really flimsy belief that there is something that is lost here that you need to lose as well. So that's seemingly the obstacle again, right? That there is someone here.
Yeah.
So the flimsy belief is that there's a belief. When you believe that I lost something, then you believe that there's someone here.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and it's very persistent.
It's very persistent. See how tricky it is?
It just keeps on coming back again. I see these, glimpses. I know about it's, in the past and in the non-past.
Yeah.
I said to somebody once, I said, doesn't it all feel like a dream? It's all this illusion that just nobody is living this. Oh no, but I have my kids and I have my husband and I have my family and all this. And the story just went on, and it was like, oh my God, she didn't know what I was talking about. So I just shut up.
Yeah. So what's seen here is that there's already no maharshi there. There's already this seeing that there's no one, but there's this narrative that comes in almost kind of like to counteract that.
Yes.
That, about my children and everything, but that's also what is. That's also emptiness.
Yes.
That's also what's happening.
So what is it that causes that to persist? Because I've seen it
nothing
repeatedly.
Really. The belief.
It's just like a flimsy belief, right?
There's a flimsy belief that there's a suspension of belief, right? When there's like, there's this glimpse, kind of like, wow, or crying or laughing or something, or nothing at all. There's just this, this imaginary instance that kind of like a suspension of belief. That's what I was looking for. There's a suspension of belief, and then the belief comes kind of like chugging back up again, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I almost had it. I'm saying I should listen to this more. But that
there's always something to get.
Yeah. Yeah. So I recommend 40 more hours for you, Marcy. I'm just joking.
So I can graduate and get my diploma.
That's right. Buddha will give it to you, not me.
My awakening diploma that I got from Oneness University. I got one.
Yeah.
I got one in 2013.
Oh, you got one? Oh, wow.
I got an awakening diploma certificate from Oneness University. I was giving Diksha, and that was like the pièce de résistance. And I came home and I said, this is bull crap.
It is. Yeah, it is.
It was total. It was like, I was so angry. I got angry.
Yeah.
Emerson, I just got so
I would
angry.
be too.
I felt so taken. I traveled to India for it.
Oh, wow.
Is that incredible?
Wow.
It's hard to believe. It's just a belief, and some people had to go into a dark room for 6 days to feel that awakening energy.
Yeah.
Really?
That's what I cried about, actually, is all of those, karma thing that I did, cleaning washrooms and everything. Like, I did all of that for nothing.
And it's like,
going to ashrams and cleaning the tiles.
and we're all dead. So this is like, Joan Tollefson calls her book The End of Self-Improvement, Death, the end of self-improvement. I love that.
Death is the end of self-improvement. Death is the end of realization. There's nothing to realize. Death is the end of enlightenment, because everything is already this. So what's being expressed here is that even that chugging train of thought that this is not it is also
it.
Emptiness, appearing as it. Yeah. The illumination here, that's what's being seen. There's already clarity there, because clearly you're seeing the chugging of the thoughts is also it. when there's no judgment and when there's a suspension of judgment, so judgment comes now, right? Which is also a belief, by the way. The judgment comes in here now that, oh, this must not be it because there's this apparent. I usually do some one-on-ones with people, and we were just talking about this earlier. It's kind of funny that they have this clarity, right? They're like, oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? There's no one here anymore. There's just this like, wow, wow, wow. And then maybe a week, month later, they're calling me. They're like, I have a headache and everything, and there's this contraction, and then and then there's comparison usually, you know, and all I
I've
really have
seen
to
that
do
a lot in
is when in a very kind of like well, that's also what's happening. There's nothing wrong or right about that.
Yes.
It's just everything that's appearing. It's already seen.
Yeah.
It's already seen. It's already clear that that's already it. So everything that follows after that is also it. It's kind of like saying, kind of like, don't throw the baby out of the bathwater because you're throwing everything because there's this, you know, the all of that, you know, seeming kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, it's back. Is also it. So there's really no being or being. It's always just this. So there's this belief again, right? There's this belief, and the belief gets flimsier and flimsier and flimsier until it's kind of like, I guess this is it. It's not what I was expecting because there's an expectation of a death of all thoughts.
It's kind of anticlimactic in a way because
It
there's
is.
like nothing to really happen, nothing to really shift.
Yeah.
Because you've already been there.
Yes.
You know, I remember, you know, Muktananda saying, I was into Muktananda in the 80s, you know, and I remember him saying, nothing exists that is not Shiva, which is,
yes,
you know, the absolute, which is consciousness,
Yes.
you know, it's not consciousness anymore. It's like, you know, not awaken, you know, awareness anymore because that's someone to be aware. I understand what you're saying with that.
Yes, it's all this. It's all this. You don't even need words or you know, Shakti and everything like that. It's just this. What appears is it, and that's the and this is just this is really direct. This is very very immediate. This is this apparent in instance, right?
Yeah.
The moment that you think about, you know, Muktananda and everything, it obscures it.
Yes.
Because there seems to be a comparison. So what's being expressed here is that there's already no Marcy there, and it's really clear.
Yes.
The Marcy that is appearing is illusory. It's coming up with all of this concept and everything is also not there. Because that Marcy, when you go to sleep, disappears. So it's just this, I call it like an Alexa or a Siri. You know what I'm saying? It comes up and basically says, well, Muktananda, you know what I'm saying? It comes up and it's just automatically, when it's prompted, it comes up and then it disappears. But you don't believe in Siri, right?
Well, it's all the minute you go into concepts and thoughts, that's not it. You know, it's just nothing. It's just back to the emptiness again. Which
apparently
I love.
this Siri that's a Marcy has a lot of knowledge, right? So that's what's being expressed here, is that knowledge is nothing.
Yes, exactly.
It's an entanglement. It's an entanglement.
Yes,
so
exactly.
this character, I had volumes and volumes of books. You know, I
Me
you know,
too. Oh, my quotes. Oh, like you're reminding me of my quotes.
I had different highlighters. You know what I'm saying? And like, this is really important. You know what I'm saying? And this is everything. And all I had to do when I was doing my lecture is open up that book according to Muktananda. Everything is Shakti and awareness.
Amazing.
But
and now there's no external reference point. It's no authority anymore. It's just like the authority is the space, is the empty.
It's the emptiness. It's whatever is appearing is already completeness. It's already emptiness. Emptiness is appearing as whatever. It appears as thoughts, it appears as idea, it appears as knowledge, but really it's just this mist, kind of like what I talked about in my last talk, in the clear lake already. It's already clear. That's what I'm saying. I'm seeing a clear lake. You're saying that there's a mist there. I'm like, well, it's still a clear lake. So all of that chatter about, you know, about your kids and everything is just a mist.
Yeah.
That's not real, because when this character, when this apparent goes to sleep at night, or when it's doing something that it likes, it's not there.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
when it's afraid of its absence, right? So it comes back while you have kids and everything. It's
No,
really,
that was the other lady that was debating me, saying, "Oh no, I've got kids, I've got a husband. How could you say it's all gone? It's all a dream."
yeah.
So
There's
it's
really
like,
no other lady over there as well. It's just a mist.
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh God. So why does it seem like there's a before and after? There just seems like there's, and I know there isn't any, because that's back to time
Why is
again.
where is there mist in a clear lake?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love. You're the best.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
can you autograph my guitar, please?
What's that? Oh,
Can you autograph my guitar?
if you
wanna
come to
hear your
Montreal
autograph on my
and
guitar.
eat some bagels with me, I will do it.
Thank you. I love you so much. You got
Love
a
you too.
great expression. Your creative expression is just really appreciated very much.
Ta-da.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Anita goes, I can see my life is a story. I don't know what life wants from me. I'm back on. I want out of this body. There is no life. See, that seems to be another belief that I have a life. This is inexplainable. We tend to use words life, but when there is my life, when there's an identification, then life becomes this personal idea or reality of what's seemingly happening. And then there's a personalization, so life becomes separate. So when you're saying that I don't know what life wants from me, you're thinking of life as a separate entity. And then me. So there's this separation, major separation, right? So when there's this seeing, or there's this apparent experience, when there's a heaviness there, that the life is doing something, what's being expressed here, there's no life and there's no you. No worries. Yeah, there's no life and there's no you. So what's happening is just what's happening. But give me a message, and we'll do a one-on-one or something. We'll express that. But there's no life and there's no story and there's no you. What's appearing in this directness, in this immediacy, is just what's appearing that is nameless. The moment that that's why I don't really like using life a lot. You know what I'm saying? If you notice, because when it becomes that this life, it's just another version of universe. It's just another version of God. Just another version of Jesus. All that kind of stuff, it just goes underground. There's this separateness that appears. Life is doing this to me, or I wish life was going to be this way. So there's this idea again. There's this belief that there's something that's controlling this. Nothing is controlling this. This is absolutely free, with no controller, no source. Hooray! I hear a lot of people now, say that the universe is doing this and everything. It's just a veiled, God is doing this, and there's nothing wrong or right about that. But it's and then there's nothing wrong with even saying God or something. But what's being said is just an idea. Once it becomes mine, or once it becomes a perception of, it's basically kind of like a kindergarten nursery that has just become another song. But I do like row your boat. Row your boat. Thank you, though, for that question. Corey, sorry. Hi, Corey. Hi, Corey. It's nice to see you.
And you too. Yeah, just the lady that was talking a minute ago about she always feels there's something needs to drop away.
Yeah.
And then you said that it's just a thought. That's all it is.
It's a belief.
A belief, which
Yes.
that's the same as a thought, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Really? Is it? Is it the same?
It is. Yeah. Belief is a thought. It's
Yeah.
just this.
So
I don't even have words for them anymore. It's just this apparent appearance of separateness, right? A thought could be an appearance, thinking
Yeah.
that there's someone here that dropped. So it's the belief reasserts that there's someone here. So what's being
Yeah.
expressed here, there's just no one here. But go ahead with your question. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that would apply to the apparent everything that's I don't know the words, but everything is just a thought, really, that apparently is in the life. I'm not very good with the word, but do you know?
No
what I'm
worries.
trying to say? But it
I
is
think what you're
just
trying to say.
what I see sitting in this room and the windows and the trees. It's all just a thought.
Let's just clarify that, maybe illuminate that a little bit simpler, right? Everything that is seen is a dream. So whatever arises in a dream, you don't even have to say thought or whatever, vision is a dream, meaning that it feels absolutely real, but it's not real at the same time.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get caught up in what's a thought, what's this and that. So when it's seen, this whole dream of separation, this whole illusion of separateness, it's just appearing as a thought, as a belief, as vision, as smell, and everything. So everything that is seen is just completely empty because it's not really happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's already free. So it's already free. So even when the thoughts or beliefs arises, that's also boundless freedom arising as a belief. Boundless freedom arising as a thought. So there's nothing wrong or right about that. So there seems to be this misunderstanding that I should not have any thoughts or I should not have any beliefs. But there's no you that have any thoughts. There's no you that doesn't have a belief. Belief arises and thoughts arises, but they're a dream is what's being expressed. They're an illusion.
Yeah.
Thank you, Corey.
Yeah. Thank you. I just want to say, yeah, I think it was yesterday when you said about when you were out in Montreal the other day and you wanted, you cubaged a private party. I think you said well, I don't know what the word is, but you barged into a private party because you felt you wanted to dance. When I was going to bed last night, that thought came to me of you getting into the party and what just because you wanted to dance, and I just couldn't stop laughing because I kept picturing you barging into the party.
Well, we did a little bit dance. There was a restaurant last night with the DJ. We did like maybe a 30-second dance. I showed my moves. I just wanted to show my moves, really. A lot of disco moves.
Love it. Just love it.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Just made me laugh.
It's making me laugh right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you.
Hi, Emerson.
Long time no see.
Yeah. You just talked to this other woman before about the belief that comes back, yeah, here, there's like a recognition. It's always this. but still there's always this belief coming back that something in the future will happen that really, it's like I'm nothing now. Well, there is nothing now, but later there are gonna be more nothing, or and or maybe um, a final, falling down, or a final falling, that the me will never come back, because this like belief always comes back. And is there such, well, there's no such a thing, or because like the final falling down, or I'm maybe I'm not using the right word, but it's like it's this and then this and then this and then this and maybe this is a story I'm telling, but maybe the 10th, I can't really explain what I want to say, but this, and maybe in a this there will be no more me.
A final this.
A final this. No, but in a this there will, not the appearance, but oh my God, I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's really funny, because there's this the flimsy belief in time, right, is what seems to be appearing.
What's that word, flimsy?
Flimsy, it's very delicate, very
Subtle.
very subtle, yeah.
Okay.
Very subtle. So there's a subtle belief in time that's not really real. So time is a very persistent illusion, right? Because it creates this comparison. It's something that there's a next this, but all that there is this, and there's no time in this, and this is timeless. So this is eternity. This is infinity, appearing as whatever. So this is already complete.
Yeah.
It's
So-
already.
So it means that like this belief comes back, so this is it. And if it comes back, well, I know this is a story, but if it's come back another time, well, there's no other time, but you know what I mean? It comes back another time. Well, this is it also, and this is always this also. But talking about thoughts, or the stream of thought, is this mechanism falling or stopping?
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. It's still rising,
Yeah.
and will never end.
No.
That is the appearance. That is the illusion.
Yeah.
It
The
does.
illusion.
It's not even appearing.
Yeah. So let me clarify that. So there's train of thoughts, or this stream of thoughts and everything, is not real, but it still appears. So the belief, you know what I'm saying? The belief that they are real is the one that drops away. So when it comes, there's no more tendency to hold on to that thoughts, because it's just an appearance. Kind of like when I say, yeah. So and again, you know what I'm saying? There's this fantasy about enlightenment, that there's a complete collapse of thoughts. It's just, you're just like a robot. But that still arises. You know what I'm saying? It as I say, it's kind of like a note taker. It's like your virtual assistant. It's not really there, but it's an artificial. It's kind of like you don't believe in Siri or Alexa, right? It just appears. But there's no off button in that one, right? For example, when you wake up, it will be horrible if you didn't have that, because of kind of like, for example, you're like, I'm going to grocery. What am I missing? No thoughts come in. You're like, it's there. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I need broccoli, I need carrots, I need this, all that kind of stuff. That's a thought. Do you need to get rid of that? That's the same.
It's like, since there's no me, there's no remembering of like, because I had this thought coming saying, oh, why do I forget that all the time, that it's an appearance and it's not real, and it's real and unreal at the same time. That is the illusion. Why do I forget that? Well, there's no me to remember.
There we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, so these persistent thoughts are just an appearance. As I said, everything is already it. That's also emptiness appearing as a reminder that there are thoughts. The thoughts is a persistent reminder that this is real, but it's just a suggestion. But when it's seen that running program, that this is real, that this is a chair, it's just a labeling process of something that's already complete. There's nothing wrong or right about that. It's not about getting rid of that. It's there's no more charge in it. As I said, it's kind of like this persistent pathological liar. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's negative thoughts. When it's seen that it's always lying, then there's no more belief in it. That's what I mean with the belief. It doesn't believe in thoughts anymore because it's always suggesting something unreal.
When there was this apparent shift, when there was talking, I just left. I just thought I was lying all the time. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, there's no it, but yeah. Okay, thank you, Emerson.
Yeah, it's already clear. It's already clear, right? That even whatever is appearing, and that's what's being mentioned here with boundless unconditional freedom. So any conditions that appear, including this chattering and everything, is also freedom, and there's nothing to get rid of, nothing to, no prescription. You just need to listen 50 more hours. No, it doesn't work that way. Hey, Steve, how are you doing?
Hi, Emerson.
Oh, I can't hear you, though.
You can't hear me now?
Oh, yes, I can hear you now.
Here, let me, maybe that's better.
That's better, yeah.
Okay. Hi, and hi to everybody else.
Hello.
A couple things come to mind. The first, on the three letters in the middle of belief are
It's
lie.
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
Secondly, as I was running down Old Pimlico Road today in Baltimore, listening to the last session that you had,
Yes.
I was thinking about the issue of time. And it occurred to me that just like when we say nothing and everything, and you mentioned that it's sort of easier to think about everything. It's weighted toward everything because people look at the things and they go,
Yes.
there's all these things. How can they be nothing?
Yes, yes.
The same
It has more weight.
The same principle, I think, holds true for time.
Yes, you got it. Yeah.
If you think about all time,
Yes.
people go timeless. That's a hard one, kind of. Timeless is kind of being like a trance, timeless state, which is fine.
Yes, the moment that you think about timeless, time is already included.
But it's not time. Time is everything. It's all space.
Yes.
If you think about the totality of all space and all time and everything that's not time, that's included in this.
Yes.
Although it's not included in the sense of contained in.
Yes, it's everything. It's everything.
Right.
It's everything. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was really good. Yeah. There's seemingly, you know what, even thinking about of timelessness happens in time. Does that make any sense? So even the idea of timelessness, because it's happening in time, is another belief. So there's no way of getting out of time, because everything that's seemingly appearing is in time. But what's being suggested here, that this is not happening, even saying that this is not happening, is appearing in time. So everything that's being said here is an illusion, but it's pointing to it that it's an illusion. It's trying to expose it, right? It's kind of like, well, nothing that's being said here is true. Nothing's also being said here is false.
And the problem
Nothing
arises.
is being said here at all.
The problem arises when you start to go, oh, I'm getting this wrong. I should be thinking about this a different way. And the resistance starts to build
that
on
is
itself.
thought in time is an illusion. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Steve.
That's all.
Yeah.
I got it.
You got it. Yeah? Yeah, good. It's already clear. This is already clarity, right? So whatever seems to appear is not really appearing, but seemingly it's appearing. But since the one that's appearing, or what's appearing, is the lie, the liar only believes in the lie. It cannot think of another, the opposite of it, because all it can think about is a lie. So what's being expressed here is this is just an exposure that everything is a lie. And once it's seen that everything is a hoax, then there is this relief. Oh, so even when the thoughts come in saying that this is real, it's now seen as a lie. So this ongoing lie is all of a sudden kind of like the prank, right? It's kind of like, oh, it's a lie, it's a prank. It's a game, it's a movie. You know, people make a lot of analogies. It's a train, it's whatever. It's all a lie. But there's no liar. It's a lie lying to itself. And that's what's appearing. So everything that appears, you know, again, we're talking in the immediacy and the directness of this, right? And this is what's being touched upon here. So when there's no time, there's no happening. When there's no time, there's nothing happening. When there's no time, there's no one has ever existed. And it's really simple. If there's no time, there's no space. If there's no time, there's no sound. If there's no time, there are no thoughts. But in time, the lie about time, the appearance of time, the belief in time, the belief in others, the belief in me, is what's appearing. So there's a lie appearing, and the lie believes, it only believes in lies, and it thinks it's true.
And all of that, the beliefs included are part of the wow.
Yes.
We're all part of the wow.
Yes.
I mean, you can even look at what a belief that you sort of internally know at some level is a lie.
Yes.
Say, wow, I actually believe that.
That's right. The wow is like that. I've been duped. What? This is, this was all a prank. And that's why the laughter apparently appears, is that it can't believe that it, but in the seeming story of this, again, right, there's a scene, there's a laughter sometimes, and then the seriousness comes in again. And it's really tricky when the seriousness is believed again, the lie is believed again, then the existence, it's living in a lie again. That there's someone there, there's something there. So when it's seen that all of this apparent appearance is, let's just change the word into pretend, so it's easier to digest. So I see some people wincing when I say lie. It's like, oh. So when there's this pretend happening, And the pretender, what's pretending is infinity. Pretending as time, pretending as you, pretending as me, pretending in a separation. But since it's a pretend, it's an illusion, once the veil is lifted, there's this, oh, it's just all emptiness, playing duality. It's like a con job. People don't like that word too. It's
Well,
like
we're in collusion with the illusion.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. What did he say? We're in inclusion with the illusion. We are inclusion with the illusion. So included with the illusion. There's no you. It's just illusion. Let's just simplify it, right? This is just an illusion. So the you that rises, the thought that rises, the seeing that rises, the smelling, the tasting, everything that the apparent mind, the brain produces is an illusion because there's no brain in the first place. This is the totality of what's being expressed, right? Kind of like in and I don't really use this as much anymore, but kind of like in a nighttime dream. Everything that was seen, felt, thought, touched, tasted is unreal. It didn't happen. Like this. In the dream, sometimes you dream of time, separation, others, whatever is appearing. But the moment that the dream collapses, everything that was previously seen, felt, heard, acknowledged is a lie. Meaning it didn't happen. I might as well use that word. It's hitting a nerve, I guess. People are kind of like, oh. It's a lie. It's all lies. And that's why there's this laughter here that apparently happens because it's seeing through the lies. So when someone is saying, well, I still feel contracted, I'm like, okay, well, you know what? What's seen here is that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Yeah. It's already free. But not your lie about what free is. Not your version of what free is, because that's a lie.
Very nice, Emerson. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Someone said that was harsh. Oof, hardcore. Sometimes. It's the third day. Come on. Apparently. It's the liar in charge comes up with all of these lies. And it's just this lies after lies after lies to obscure that it's a lie, that it doesn't exist. It's layers and layers and layers and layers. Thoughts, feelings, others, other stories, other people. But the lie is just really hiding that it doesn't exist. That's the lie. And it's so convinced, kind of like a pathological liar, of the lie that it gets anxious about whatever. It gets, it's so convinced, it believes in its own lie completely. But there's no here, but what's being kind of like poked at is that you're not there. That's a lie. You don't exist. And the liar will be like, but.
That's what I was going to say. So the next question would be, what do I do with that? What do I do with it? Nothing,
because the one that wants to do with that will all come up with another lie. Yeah. Exactly. It's just to maintain the lie. So again, it's this greatest con job ever, that there's a you in the first place, that there's separation, that there's time and everything. And this con has been running the apparent life, but there's no life. There's no you to have a life. Everything is just, let's just strip all the words out. It's this.
Yeah, there's only what's happening.
Let's even strip that out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's an appearance.
Yeah. Let's even strip that out.
There's nothing.
Let's even strip that out.
Fuck it all.
No, it doesn't have a word, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
It's wordless.
Yeah.
It's just this.
It's ungraspable.
Not even that.
No. Okay.
It keeps on coming again. It gets caught up with these words. It's ungraspable. It's unknowable. It's this. It's just what's happening. That's what's being expressed here. That's if that becomes an automatic shield, it becomes this obscuring. It's just this. I don't even need to say anything.
It's funny because I have the same question now. I have the same question now. What's next? What?
There's no next.
No, but I mean, what do you do with that?
Nothing. Everything just appears as it is. So there's when the liar's caught that it's just lying all the time, it shuts up. It's gonna like, okay, and it just
The end of the question?
the end of the seeking. Yeah.
The question and
Yeah,
everything.
everything.
No, well, I just said that the end of the question because
The-
that's why sometimes I am speechless because there's something that said, I mean, if I cannot ask any question anymore if because it's all a lie. It's always a story, always a lie. But I don't say that I see it, or I mean, but that's it.
Yeah.
But I'm often speechless. Thanks.
As I said, and I think I mentioned this before, what's being expressed here does not appear in concepts and ideas, in words. Even the word saying ungraspable or this is just this, is just alluding to it. It's trying to express it. But really, it can't be captured.
Yeah, so why do speakers say all there is what's happening?
It's just the simplest way to cut through the bullshit, right? Because when I was in spirituality, I can say that all of this 5,000 dimensions, you know what I'm saying, and the 5D existence, and that's a lot of bullshit, you know what I'm saying? In sorry, I'm going super hardcore here. It's a lot of bullshit in just explaining that the simplicity, that all that there is this. It's actually what is being expressed does not appear in thinking. But it's hard because everything that we're talking about here requires time. So what's being expressed here, that there is no time. So all of this pointless rambling about this is just really to expose that there is just this nameless thing. But we'll come back in an hour. I think that was super. Someone's saying that's. Thank you so much, everyone. There's a breakout room. Thank you, Emerson.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Emerson.
Thank you,
We love you
thank you,
so
thank you, thank you,
much.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you,
Thank you,
thank you.
thank you. See you in an hour.
Emerson.
You rock.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
Okay.
There's no one there, though.
That's right, Susie.